everyone, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. And you guys, today I'm back with another video, and I'm in my office today because I felt just so inspired by a success story of one of my clients. And I also just wanted to go over some basics about manifesting. So I'm jumping on today in between sessions because I had to make this video. So anyways, before we get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And please hit the bell icon in the box below and you get notified every time that we post new videos. Okay, you guys, so I have noticed that there's a theme this week with all of my clients and just as of late. And if you've been in session with me, then I've apologized for yelling at everybody to get everybody back on track. But there seems to be a theme or just sort of some things that are commonly going around. And I thought that we need to kind of go over just some basics about manifesting and basics about your thoughts creating so that we can get everybody back on track. Because if a lot of my clients are not on track, then I'm wondering how many of you guys out there that are practicing the mental diet on your own are also coming into the same roadblocks, okay? So I also was inspired by one of my clients who was a huge success story this week. And she shared with me that she got rid of a third party. She got back together with her ex-boyfriend, and he also asked her to go out on vacation. So I'm going to go into details about how she manifested for that. But just a reminder, you guys, that the mental diet are the thoughts that you're thinking all the time, because we know that your thoughts create, and you're the only creator in your reality, and your consciousness projects out into your reality, to your SP, and to everybody around you. So what I've been noticing this week is that everyone's getting really caught up in the 3D reality of what everyone's doing that they don't want them to do. Bottom line, end of story. So I, as a coach, could see it kind of like as everyone's complaining, but I, of course, don't think that ever, even though if you've had session with me this week, or this video comes out next week, so it's going to be the week before. But everybody just seems to be very caught up in focusing on what they don't like with their specific person, what they don't like about specific people saying about their specific person, or what they don't like about anything happening on in general. So just as a reminder, I have my handy dandy pens because they seem to be so helpful for illustrating these things, that this is you and your reality. And you and your reality is a structure of molecules and energy. And the molecule and energy within you projects out to the people around you. And that's how your thoughts create. Your thoughts also create assumptions and create beliefs, and then those project out of your subconscious also as part of the creational process. But everybody around you is a function of you. Nothing's happening to you. You guys know this already, but it's a reminder. Nothing's happening to you. It's happening through you. It's happening from you. You, my friends, are the author, the illustrator, and hopefully the star of your movie. So just look at it this way. If you sit with yourself right now and you think to yourself, where have my thoughts been today? Where have my thoughts been over the past hour? Where were my thoughts yesterday? I'll tell you, if they're focused on things that annoy you, things that frustrate you, things that you have anger about your SP, or how they're not treating you right, they're not calling you, they're not doing what you want them to do, then you're not on the right mental diet. You're not on your intentions, and you're not thinking the thoughts. You're not thinking the beautiful thoughts that we want you to think in order to get what you want. Because remember that where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows. You're an energetic being, and your energy is just your thoughts. So this is just a reminder, because to come back to the client of mine who was a success story with that juicy information. So just a background about my client had her boyfriend, and she had this hot and cold relationship. And a lot of it really came from her hot and cold feelings about herself and about life and living. But they had this hot and cold thing going on. He tended to be really aggressive. He was full of, God bless you fellas out there, but he was full of masculine testosterone, and he would just kind of get really aggressive about what she was or wasn't doing. And then she would do the same to him. And they had this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So I asked her, I said, okay, so like, what do you want? So we know that you created this scenario. We know that you created this dynamic, but what dynamic do you want instead? Okay. And she really sat with that for a couple of days, and she thought, okay, she thought about it. And then she told me in the next session, okay, Alexis, like, I know what I want. I want us to have a loving, amicable relationship. And I said, okay, so great. Thank you. I'm so happy that you figured that out. If you guys had a loving, amicable relationship, then give me an example about something that you would be doing. She said, oh, okay, well, we've never gone on a vacation together. So if we went on trips together, we plan things together, we plan vacations together, then that would totally be something we'd be doing if we were, in that loving dynamic. And I said, cool, okay, great. So let's turn those into intentions. So we focused on intentions about going on vacation together, about having a loving life together, doing life together, and it being harmonious. Okay, so what she didn't expect, and I mean, I will say that this client was really good about using her actions to her advantage. So whenever she wanted to contact the SP, she would. Whenever she wanted to see him, she would just go over to his house. So she had a high level of self-confidence. She had a high level of self-worth, and her self-concept that we talk about so much on the channel was pretty high. She thought highly of herself. She thought that she was beautiful. She thought that she really thought that she had it going on, and she was really involved in her career, and she was succeeding in other areas. It was just love and relationships that weren't working. So in any event, she ended up finding out that there was a third party. She found out there was a third party because she stopped by his house. Now, okay, so kind of interesting scenario to have happen there. But what ended up happening is that he chose her over the third party in an instant. So he told the third party to leave, and he stayed and talked to her, and they went out to dinner. They shared like a ice cream or something like that. And then he was telling her all about how he wanted to go on vacation with her, and he wanted to plan a weekend away. He wanted to take her away. He wanted to shower her with all these, affection, gifts, all these things that she had been intending for. She heard him say to her, not necessarily verbatim, but she really, really got what she was focusing on. Okay. So you guys, everybody out there, you can do this too. None of us are different, and no one is more important or more special or better at doing this than the other, because we're all the same. And everyone and everything, like I've said in other videos, is energy. The basis of energy is thought. The basis of matter is thought. So like in another video, I talked about my chapstick. Okay. So this time, let's talk about my stapler. Okay. So this stapler, right? I love office supplies, you guys. Like, that's my jam. Okay. So this stapler, in order for it to become matter, was first someone's thought. Someone at Swingline thought about a stapler, or someone outside of Swingline, the company, had thoughts that led to thoughts that led to thoughts, and then Swingline got the thoughts and they created the stapler. The same thing is true with your specific person. And even if and I also feel like I should say today too, even if you're manifesting for a new specific person, or it's someone that you just met, this still applies to you, because that new person, or the person that you haven't yet created, or the person you haven't yet met, is being created by you. But let's make sure that they're created for you. And the only way you know is if you're creating something for you is you want to ask yourself, am I on the mental diet island? Am I thinking thoughts of what I want on purpose? Am I in the assumption of what I want? Am I in the assumption, at least, of it's coming to me, it's happening to me, it's moving towards me, he's changing, she's changing? Or am I on another island entirely, which is thoughts of lack, of despair, thoughts of regret, thoughts of frustration, thoughts of anger? Now, in our human complex, in our human mind, it's normal to think thoughts of anger, frustration, despair, but you guys, you don't want to stay there, okay? Because that's not where your powerhouse is. Look at your reality as everyone is created by you, but are they created for you? When you know something is created for you, it's in your favor, it's supportive, it's built on appreciation, acceptance, love, and you like the interaction with it, right? So this is my long-winded way through also this success story of telling you just to get your focus back on track. Because if you do just that one thing, then you know that you're on the road to the full completion of your manifestation. Because the other thing to always keep in mind is that this is an inner game that creates the outer win. So in order for you to create the inner win of the inner game, to create the outer win, the outer game, then you have to be on the right thoughts. It really is that simple. Okay. So just like this client, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. Literally, the circumstances outside of you, they don't matter, because they're old thoughts. They're old assumptions. They're your old ideas. And that's why they've shown up, because you've thought those thoughts a lot, right? And you probably did that before you know that you were doing this whole thing. So like, it's no big deal. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't get regretful about it. Don't get mad at things that you've created before, because it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world because you can change it. Okay. Because remember that even that whole idea, when you get regretful about things, you get frustrated, you're over in the whole, this should have happened differently. If the past was differently, you're not on the mental diet island. You're on the island of regret, not pining after, but you're just not in the place you want to be, you guys. Okay. So really, instead of listening to this video and then watching another video, or, listening to all these ideas, really sit with yourself and ask yourself, am I focusing where I need to be focusing? Now, if you don't know how to focus on where you should focus and you're not getting what you want, then I always suggest booking coaching, just because it helps figure things out and because it helps to have some guidance, because oftentimes we cannot see what we're not seeing in our own circumstance because we're in it. And I actually find out with a lot of my clients, as they become successes, that they also don't see their successes because they're so caught up in what they're not having, because we're programmed to focus on lack. We're programmed to focus on the negative. So we just want to turn all that around and get you back on the idea of focusing on what you want, focusing on the intentions of what you want, coming from that beautiful self-concept of confidence, love, self-acceptance, self-appreciation. And if you're not there, then reword it. Get back on the mental diet, focus back on those beautiful intentions, and then you can have anything you want, because it's really true. Your reality is always up to you. Your reality is always coming through you, by you, but let's make it for you. Okay. All right, you guys. So I hope you found this video helpful. That's my video for today. And if you would like to book coaching with me one-on-one, then the link is in the description box below. And also there's information in the box below about the course that I created called How to Become a Master Manifester. And just to make it clear here too, that course is a beginner course on how to understand how to create your own foundational intentions for yourself. And not even necessarily beginner, because sometimes just the basics help us all, but really how to also understand at a scientific level. And I bring in integrative psychology because that's my background, about how your mind works, how to create the right intentions for you, and how to really get on the right mental diet so you start seeing change in all areas of your life and yourself. All right, you guys, so go out today, make today awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome day, and thank you for one more time liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing in the box below. Bye.